Rightio, lads, this is Mr. Boss 390 reporting in for another episode of Napoleon Total War Let's Play. And so just hit play to start out real quick here. So nothing special for this episode. I'm just doing a multiplayer battle I did earlier in the week, I think, actually. Yes, about 4 days ago. Against just some random people. We had a good time and everything. And we developed an interesting strategy to the game. Let's go into play battle, view replays. I believe it is this one. So we developed a pretty interesting strategy to this game, actually. I mean, in Napoleon Total War especially, you want to play defensive, but so what happened was there are a few hills on the map. The main one was on my side, which we will follow the most, and so usually what happens is, the classic rampage, get like 4 or 5 units of cav up there immediately, but that's not what I did, because I told everyone just to hold back and let them come off of their hills and then meet us in the open ground. So let's just hit the accept button. So that was our strategy. As you can see, I don't know if this is my side. Look at the huge. You can tell when the map is going to load up, but that's a huge hill right there. And then we had these hills to our advantage, and I'm pretty sure I can't even pronounce it, or whatever the hell it is. That guy was the Ottomans on the right flank, and then this guy is the Austrians in the middle, and then I am the British on the left. And then there are 2 Prussian players and 1 French player, and I was against the French player. And we shall see what is going to happen. So, while we are waiting for this to load, I might as well talk about what's going to happen in the future, because, an ever-growing channel needs to have ever-growing, things, so a big thing is, because you can probably tell by most of my videos, my sound quality is absolutely crap, and so I will be fixing the audio soon by getting an actually good mic. If you're interested in what mic I'm getting, it's the BM800 with power supply and whatnot, so that should be coming soonish. But don't expect it to be like the best thing that you ever heard in the world. It's like $30 or whatever. But it is the best mic for under $50. Like, I've done a lot of research, because I listen to my videos. They're crappy sound quality, and battle starting. They're crappy sound quality, and okay, you can see now moving my leads back, and so I'm getting a new mic. And I'll put it on slow motion. So actually, well, besides from just pen over here to the cav, yep. So he's just rushing his cav. And he's actually going to stop rushing them, because he sees that I'm not rushing, so he's being the sensible one. But, so, yes, another thing is, I made a video on the, Great War campaign, but due to difficulties with the actual mod, and, getting it to be stable all the time, and, stuff like that, I couldn't continue the series, so I'm sorry, we won't get another sequel to that. Yeah. I would personally love to do that, especially because actually my game, my mod just totally gave up. I tried reinstalling it a couple times, just didn't work. My mod just completely gave up while I was in the middle of a multiplayer campaign, so I was really pissed off at that. And so without me rambling on, we'll just watch the battle here. So what he's doing, he's holding up his cav over here. He has let's see here. Yeah, 5 units of cav. Wait, does he have anything in the back? Well, besides from his general, I don't think so. But, so 5 units of cav. And one thing I found interesting about his, army comp was, he's using a lot of not even National Guard, it's just the militia, like meat shields, but he's using, a good amount of them. Like, look over here. I mean, this is Fuselage line, these are Fuselage. I think he has, 3 or 4 units of them, so. I mean, you might say, oh, it's only 3 or 4 units, but I mean, they're super crap meat shields, and I mean, I guess they're okay. But anyways, also another thing I noticed at the end of the battle, I'll point this out to you too. But my army comp has 200 or so men less than the others because I have an elite army. I have 2 units of foot guards. I think that, yeah, they're in the back. 2 units of foot guards, the Coldstream guards, and the 88th Cognate Rangers. Oh, I can't words. And anyways, and then I think it's called the King's German Legion of Foot, and then about 4 or 5 foot. And then, you know, assortment of lights and cav and such. Oh yeah, and in the cav, another thing that takes up a lot of, you know, coins and stuff is the Royal Scot Greys, you know, from the movie Waterloo. So that's something. I moved a little too far. It's fine. And yeah. So overall, I think I was outnumbered, but as I said, he has a lot of like militia, which is basically meat shields. They're not really, you know, yeah. You get the idea. I should assume. Yeah, my line is kind of messed up because I had the elites were originally in the front, but then I realized that I wouldn't have enough. Like, that would be too much ground to cover with my first line. I just fell them back. And, okay, so where the real slaughter happens, where I held my defensive position, is when I take up position on this gorgeous, like, hill. Look at the overlook of just, like, the French approach. This is perfect. No cover for the French. They just have to keep going. And this is where the battle is actually going to start. So, right now it's just standoff. It's going to be standoff about, like, couple, maybe 1 or 2 more minutes or something. Yes, sir. And yeah, it will start soon because I remember it started after I moved my rifles to the left. Because the left was where the French they wanted to break it, because if they can turn my flank over here, they can, you know, surround me, and then if they can, here we'll go pan over all the way over here to our Austrian allies. So they have the same idea. They're holding a defensive position, very, very grouped up. Like I talked to him about this. He still didn't listen. He wanted to keep all his men between these 2 like houses, like this hut and this house over here. And then he just had 2 grenadiers on the right, which ended up crushing the Ottoman player, which to be honest was better than me or him, probably combined. He did a great job, although we're gonna follow me on this flank because I don't really know what happened to them, and it could be something extremely boring, although I highly doubt it. Okay, so as soon as I, and which will be soon, I'm going to place my stakes down because, you know, I don't want him to just do a surprise cav charge or whatever, moving cav over to the right. So I'm going to place my stakes down, and then when I do that, they're going to see the opportunity to get within range of my rifles with their rifles, and then get the first shots off. So, yes. Right now, he's just organizing his forces, which I thought, like, just go into battle with the plan. Like, why is he? What's the purpose of moving all of the lights? I mean, I guess his real objective was not to attack over here because that's where the bulk of my forces were, to attack over here. You know, and also he could turn my flank from there. So I have a unit of foot guards, rifles, and a dragoons holding this flank, so I don't think he can break it, especially since I have the high ground here. And, you know, in this scenario, since there's no artillery in this battle, which I forgot to mention earlier, but there's no artillery in this battle, so you can just stand there and just, you know, yeah, you won't take any casualties or anything. So now he's beginning to move up, and I'm going to place my stakes down. Yep. So, okay, so the battle's going to start very soon now, as you can see. You know, catch them placing the stakes. There you go. So, first volley should be opened up by them, I think. Or maybe it was me. I can't remember. No, it was probably me. No, it was them. Wait. Don't mind, it's me. I'm like them, me, them. Yeah, whatever. So, the rifles are now engaged, and they're moving their men up, because they actually don't have rifles. These are just skirmisher units that have stake capabilities. I thought it was weird too, but whatever. A hailstorm of fire coming down. So you can see, even though they have this gigantic hill, they're coming down into this kind of valley thing over here. And then I have the ridge line. So this is going to be very key. Just this, like, about 20-50 foot rise in the ground to hold them off. So, yes. And you can see he will do something extremely interesting on the right. That's something, I mean, I considered the same thing with infantry at one time, but I didn't do it because then I wouldn't have any infantry, and you'll see why. So, go close up to the rifles to get a closer view. I don't think we really need to get that mini map in there. We can see where everything is perfectly fine. Okay. We have the lights over here. And I'm pretty sure, actually, these guys have an advantage over them because they have faster reloads. Even though these guys have the range, these guys also have stakes. Oh, yes. So I moved my light foot up to get some fire upon them, which I'm gonna move them back after a couple shots have been taken. Just get ready. There. Secondary volley. And then, so now you can see him pushing up with a couple units of Polish Legion and meat shields. So I'm gonna follow these guys back to around this area soon. There we go. So yeah, you can really pull up the mini map again, and so I'm the red on this flank here. You can actually make it bigger. I am the red over here. So we're gonna go this. You can see the line on the regular thing, and then the mini map. You can see what my objective is here, and then his concentration of forces on the left, and mine as well. So we can actually leave that open if we really want. So you guys can, know what's happening all the time. So, okay, now this was scary to me. I was like, in the chat, you can't view the chat from a replay, but I remember I was like, oh my god, Austria, get over here now. Oh, here. Yep, I'm charging one of my Dragoon units. So I said to Austria, oh my god, you need to get over here now, even though he just kind of formed up his little thing. And then I marched, I think the 88th over, and then spread out the line to the right, and then we were fine. Yeah, so these guys charge in. Gonna take some casualties from musket fire as always. So we come in with about 35 guys in the initial charge, and they sort of form square. I mean, not really. The initial charge is something that's deadly, although I don't think I'm good. Yep. Now they've formed square, so I can't do anything to them. And then they have Polish Legion charging from the flank, so yeah. Although eventually, yeah, let's scare them off from the right flank, especially since Austria put like a cav and a line unit over there. He didn't want to get, I move up my men to like here, then Austria moves up his men to over here, then takes fire from both flanks. So eventually he'll fall this flank back, or I can't remember what happened, but yeah. So okay, now you see the sort of falling back. So really, right now it's still a light battle. Like when I mean by light battle, I don't mean low on carbs. I mean like with skirmishes and rifles and whatnot. But soon we will get the glorious line infantry involved. But actually this is a perfect opportunity. We'll put it on slow-mo. To check out what's going on the other flanks. So these guys, you can see, oh, slaughter, Prussian slaughter over here. They went mostly line. They didn't really, like, 1 or 2 skirms maybe, because I know the rules for this game was no RD and 3 skirms, and that was it. So, and then yeah, so the Austrians had the right idea, but they just grouped up their men way too much, and then they absolutely got. At the end of the game, there's even more bodies piled up in this, kind of defensive position. And what happened was, you can see in the minimap too, there's this noticeable gap between the forces, which you think it wouldn't matter that much, although the Prussians use this to kind of circle in around them, and then the other Prussian army uses this to kind of circle around them, and then they create, this Prussian little space here, and then end up dividing the forces, and then ending up in both of their forces getting crushed. But okay, over here, we're going to move up. Things are, oh my god, the line infantry is going to engage. Now I'm going to pause it real quick. So the Ottomans have set up a beautiful position over here. In my opinion, they should have a few more units like up here, and then especially up either in front or behind the house, or you know, to like move these guys, and so these guys would be on the right, and then these lights would be on the left, and that would be perfect position. And then we can always follow these guys back if he charges in his cav, which you can see he's massed up 3 units over here, and he's getting ready to assault this position. It's going to be a hell of a fight over there. And so we'll get back to my flank just by clicking. And so you can see now the lines are getting their lines are getting closer to mine. I'm not going to budge. That's my mentality here. Fortunately, these guys lose like 30 or 40 men just by light fire. I think I moved them up so they wouldn't just kept getting pot shots out them. So, oh boy, kind of losing my voice here. Anyways, so my main objective here is, like, you know, like the Maginot Line, just hold them off. Hold them off. So, okay, now I'm getting these guys up and these guys up, and later I'll follow these guys back and then move these guys up in firing position so we can have like 2 firing lines. Ooh, beautiful volley. Now we're gonna have the secondary volley soon. Nope, no secondary volley, never mind. Oh, I hear charging. Oh yes, this is it. So, what he did now, he took all 5 units of calves, Lancers, Dragoons, Hussars, I think, yeah, Grand Hussars, Chuzels, you know, all of these guys. They, Polish Legion is completely spread out here, and now look at this. Austria comes up to bite him in the ass. I think they charges them but shoots at them. Honestly, I don't know if he's gonna shoot at them. That's good.
Our general is under attack.
So what he does, he just heads all his cavalry to try and kill my general, the one thing. So we're gonna get slow-mo here, because this is an important part of the battle. So, yeah, I'm gonna pause here, because I'm gonna be blabbering on for a while. Oh, right before they get the charge in. So, if any of you have seen the movie Waterloo, about the Battle of Waterloo, you should know the where there's like 8 or so British brigades who form square against like huge, just honestly massive French cav charge. And so basically what I did here, since I think I watched the movie either day before or on that day, I literally took the whole line and just hit the square button, because I knew that when I heard the generals under attack, I knew that he wasn't sending his men over here to do damage to my line. That's not his objective. He was sending men over here to get to my general, and then he was going to, you know, begin his main assault to see if he can break my line, which we will see the results of after we play. So, the initial charge here, the square formation. They see all my men are forming square, so they get to the light infantry, which gets slaughtered from in front and behind for the cav, and they end up breaking. So, that wasn't really that much unfortunate. Now I'm forming square with everyone over here, and I don't think I got the chance to form these guys square. And then I put the Coldstream and eventually the Royal Scotch Greys into the French cav to stop them, because, you know, the elites of the elites here. Of course, they could stop them. That's what I thought, at least. So, yes, the beautiful... Let's just pause it here. Oh, the annoying screaming noise. Okay, so it's the screaming noise in the background, but you can see just the beautiful, you know, square formations across the line. Like, look at this. This is like some Waterloo shit right here. You know? Like, just... look at it from this perspective. Oh, actually, I think I could possible thumbnail over here. Yeah, wait for it. Thumbnail. Great, now we'll hit play. Sorry for that delay, boys. It's okay though. So I moved my general back over here, because, you know, I thought, you know, with all the square formations and such I have over here, I should hold him. Now I kept this flank out of square because I saw him that he was going to concentrate his forces over here. He's going to try to turn my left. Like Napoleon in the Battle of Waterloo, he did a feint over here, like over here, but I knew he was going to come from the left. And then, so right before these guys get into my, right before these guys actually get into my general, so I'm pushing forward. I'm just trying to manage the men back here. Then all of a sudden I see that they're making it, and now, yeah, you heard at the devil, and now, so they made it in, although with severe casualties. You can just see 5 full healthy units of French cav went into this, and now look what's going on. And also, they're far behind enemy lines, they've taken massive casualties, they're getting fired on from behind, from this unit, these two, which I actually had to form square because, you know, I'm breaking these guys and everything. So, and I repel these guys from killing my general, who is over here. So, my general lives on, and then the chat, I'm like, all of that for no general kill, and he's like, haha, close. So then, you know, the lulls went off in the chat, because everyone, they heard, like, the massive charge, you know, like, charge, whatever they said, and you know, the shouting, so then they pan over to my side, and they see just 5 units of cav coming right down the hill, which is, you know, extremely, worrying. So we have a melee fight between Austrians and the French, and we're gonna go slow-mo again here, because a lot happens in this battle. So, now you can see, this is so stupid. You have 3 units against, like, a lot of us, okay, 4, but still, against a lot of us, Prussian units over here. So, yeah, he still moves up with 4 ranks over here with, this is like 4 or 5 ranks over here. This is so ridiculously infuriating to me, because in Napoleon, it's not like Empire, where, here, I'm gonna pause it here, because it looks like something's actually gonna happen, but Napoleon, it's not like Empire, where there's volley fire. Napoleon, there's the first rank is fire at will, you know, and then the second rank, or whatever, it fills in. So, with me, the standard thing is, and if we just pan over to my line over here, you can see that I'm doing so, 2 ranks, with the second rank being 2/3 the size. Well, I mean, these guys have taken casualties and stuff, but with the second rank being about 2/3 the size of the first, so we can get maximum firepower. You know, not clump up like this. The only time I recommend clumping up like this is when you're going in for a charge, and even then it's, you know, questionable. But so the Ottomans put up a hell of a good fight on this flank. I mean, just they were the best ones in this battle, and his opponent was as well. So, you know, pan over to my flank and then hit the play button. And so now that all of the French cav was, you know, charged into death, basically. So let's see here, Fusiliers up the line and militia moving up. So already taken huge casualties on this side, and I charged my dragoons over here. And it wasn't very, you know, meaningful charge. Didn't need to see that, but oh yes, the volleys. The volleys are majestic. But later he'll move like a Polish Legion over here. You know, he'll attack his only unit of Old Guard over here, and I guess we kind of both just, our forces are so depleted, and then we do both, like, I charged him, and then his men actually won the charge, because it was the Old Guard left over, and then, from that Old Guard, there was 9 Fusiliers behind the Old Guard, firing on my men, so my men routed, and then, but the friendly fire from the Fusiliers behind the Guard routed the Old Guard, so then we both kind of routed, and the left flank was completely abandoned. And it was turned into, like, from here to here, and then the Prussians ended up, you know, right here, you can see, the Prussians have just, now it's basically a slaughterhouse, okay? They're just shooting down at the Austrians, now they're broken. So, eventually he's gonna move his men up over here. Oh, this is good. So, it's a pause, okay. I know there's the annoying I'm gonna unpause. So what happened here is they had a single line to get maximum firepower, which I guess is good, but you always want to have at least 2 ranks, even if 1 man in the back rank, because when cav or any infantry charges you, you're just gonna get absolutely wrecked. I mean, it's like, if anyone goes into melee with you, you're gonna absolutely get wrecked. So then I charged my men into the Prussian Lancers, and after the initial charge, because they're Lancers, they got the better charge, and then we got the better, you know, fight afterwards, I guess. I don't really know how to put that in words, because I can't words. Yeah. So, you know, my men are taking casualties on this flank, because you can see, oh, the Scots Greys are still doing their business, because eventually I charged them over here on the right flank, which got heavily pressured. So I would break. I'm pretty sure. Yes, they break my cav. Oh my god. They break my cav, and I break their line. And then these guys actually, they see that the flank is falling, so that, you know, this goes grace. I'm charged in. No. This is all to be charging. It's not grace. I don't know even French, but so they kind of got a little scared from them. But yes. So now we can see this is interesting. So I was super afraid, and I don't know why the Prussians did do this. They could have coordinated with the French and easily crushed me, but I don't know why the Prussians didn't do this. But so they form up on my right flank, and they just stand there. Like, you have how many units here? 3 absolutely huge, well, not huge, but like very, very healthy units. And I think these are foot guards. Wait, do they have life guard? No, yeah. So these are foot guards, like the elite Prussian infantry. 2 units of them, a musketeer unit, Prussian Fusiliers, Prussian Fusiliers. You know, this is a great fighting force. I don't know why. And then they have support from another unit of foot guards, which I don't charge. I actually charge these Prussian Fusiliers over here. But he could have marched in here. I had, let's see here. Let's see what I have over here. The Austrian general there. Let's see what I have over here. I have a unit of foot guards, and then the 88th holding the right, which it's pretty elite, but it's only 3 units. I mean, then you could just at least engage me in a firefight. So we have our guard over here shooting down at the old guard. So the final moments of the left flank, which will turn into the final minutes of the battle. So I'm charging in my rifles, just simply like wheat shields. Set up. You see here, I'll set up this. I'm setting up this unit to fire on the right flank of the old guard, and then I'm just putting these guys in so they concentrate on firing at the old guard, not these guys or these guys. It's not like I was expecting them to do any damage to the old guard, the freaking rifleman. So, but here we see the foot guards holding strong upon the hill. Hold the line, boys. Hold the line. Don't let the Frenchies break through. That beautiful, beautiful volley. And then it's like, ooh, that's orgasmic. Oh boy. I bet some of you are like, oh boy, the cringe of this, but... So, I'm moving up the line here to match, with everything over here. So they don't turn my left. And, eventually I'm going to fall back from that, but that's later in the battle. So, just a firefight on here for now. Though this is a very important firefight. Because if I can break the old guardsmen on the left, the French army is, not really anything compared to my army. Although I can't really attack, also because the Prussians have arrived. It's like the opposite of Waterloo. French and Prussia was, the last stand of the French. Although the British. But the French at the time in Waterloo weren't expecting to be a last stand. In fact, they were the attackers. They were the ones who thought, this is gonna get them. This is gonna get them good. But what ended up happening was, going to slow mo here, so nothing doesn't happen. So, and we'll also check on the Ottomans over here. So, so they're just falling back, trying to get ready for the enemy charge. Anyway, so what happened in the Battle of Waterloo was, so Napoleon came out of exile to an amazing, I can't words, an amazed France, like, oh, you're back, thank God, yes, vive l'Empereur, and vive l'Empire, and, all that good stuff, and, oh, geez, I need some water after this, but, anyway, so what happened was, Napoleon outnumbered the British, but the British held on ridgeline, with fortified farm, summer houses and stuff. Jeez, I really am having trouble with words today. Fortified farmhouses and stuff, and, what have you. And, they held the ground as long as they could against the French, until the final attack, which the Prussians were almost there. So even if the French did succeed in the attack, the Prussians probably would have been there to, halt it. But, so what happened in the attack was, they were going to, just crush the French. Like the French, the English. I can't. I'm not. Okay, yes. So I'm falling back to the line now. But so what happened was they were gonna crush the English, but then the English had an array, a great volley system set up by the Duke of Wellington himself, set up to, you know, like, kind of, you know, get as many Frenchmen dead before they could get into hand-to-hand with us as possible. Because, you know, a man with a musket is as equal as another. No, but it's not the same for a bayonet, especially since the Old Guard were charging it. But what happened was, since the Old Guard was viewed as, like, this majestic unit which could never be beaten, no matter what happened at any time, I really am having, okay.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Yes. But, so, the Ottomans are further continuing to fall back, and they will get crushed soon. But, so they had a great volley system set up. Absolutely, the Old Guard and the Young Guard and all the French forces left up that were charging lost 20% in the first, like, 3 volleys. 20% of their men. It was, like, an astounding number. And then, due to that, the Old Guard, and only the Old Guard, everybody else was like, Vive le Père! You know, all that good stuff. But, so all the Old Guard ended up routing, and then seeing their invincible troopers, you know, rout from the battle, they were, you know, very like, oh my, this is bad, this is worse than we thought. So then the whole army ended up retreating, and under the, barrage of the English even lost more, the last few volleys of the English, and then the Prussians arrived with even more cannon and more troops, like I think around 50,000, 30, I don't know the exact numbers. So then Napoleon saw he was beaten. He's actually, I believe, I'm not sure on this, if you know I'm wrong, then just put it in the comments, but I believe that Napoleon fell back, you know, into France, and from Belgium, I think it's in Belgium, to France, and then he's like, join the army, come on, but then reports of the battle got out, and then, you know, the Old Guard routed against the English. Oh, I don't want to be against the English, and then, you know, blah, 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 why did you do this, Emperor, you know, like, I thought we could trust you, and blah, 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 and then the British got hold of him again, and actually, I think I'm going to research what happened to him, because he was originally granted exile, with a, you know, personal guard of 1,000 men, which is very gracious. Oh, Cat is in here now, but, which was, very gracious by the English. Yeah, double
our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Yes, I'm now running out of ammunition, but one of, like, I don't know what happened to him, because, you know, they sent him to exile, then they came back, then they defeated him, then eventually they ended up capturing him. I don't know what happened after that, though. If you know, put it in the comments, but if no one does, then I shall just look it up myself on Wikipedia or something. So now you can see I'm charging in this, you know, shredded up foot guards with a double line, like I mentioned, to, you know, group your forces when you're doing a charge. Only in certain situations, this is one of those certain situations. So, I'm charging in these King's German foot as kind of a snake movement, so these guys will engage in the front, they will wrap around the flanks of these guys, but then these guys will encircle the whole thing. It's kind of like a tactic like that. So the Old Guard, standing here proud. Oh, I love their uniforms. Although, kind of was weird to me. I think it's in, like, the same in real life, too, but I'm not sure. The guard symbol on the top of their hats is, look, it's like an octopus, if you can see that. But, so now they're charging into my charge. Oh, charge, boys! Oh, and now we're gonna hit play. So. And then the French general comes in, and then he breaks my foot guards, but my King German Legion is still there. And then the Austrian general, the only thing left of his army, comes in to try and repel the French. And then that was a really weird French line there. I don't know if you heard that, but so my men are routing. You know, it's like coming down to the last stand, and then, you know, I'm having my last stand over here, and to hold the left flank with a single rank, like I did not recommend before, but I need as much firepower as possible, especially with these guys, the Coldstream Guards. You know, like the 20th Maine in Gettysburg, the elite. Even though they weren't elite, they were just, you know, the left flank, and then turned to the elite. Anyways. Oh, boy, my voice is
now they must
almost down. So, oh well, the Ottomans are actually still putting up a, I wouldn't say decent fight, but they're still holding. They're going to break soon, I would assume. Get this little thing out of the way. Oh, this could be it. They're not going to fire back. Oh, they're clearly, okay, that's it. And then the Ottomans are down, so it's only, oh boy, the Austrian general, and then my forces. Oh, wait, pause. Okay, this is the part of the battle, which, it's not a ranked battle. So, you can see it's, where do your forces go, boss? Mr. Boss, I don't see your forces. They're right here. I did a massive concentrated charge on both flanks. On the Prussian flank, I got absolutely sorted, but here I actually made some decent progress. Because, well, I don't want them to, like, because I texted with them in the chat, like, I'm over with attack me, and they're like, no, attack us, and I'm like, well, just, okay, no, it's whatever. So, I did. And in the weirdest way possible, I charged in my general, all of my infantry units. I'm not going for this guy, I think I'm going for, yes, this is Polynesian over here. And then, on the Prussian flank, you can see I'm charging in my men over here, into the center of their line, and they got absolutely slaughtered because, well, look what they have to go through. I mean, just look at the Prussians are all around over here. So, that's, yeah, that flank was a failure, so without further ado, we're going to hit the play button. No, that's a fast forward button. But here we go. Charge, and some of the generals fighting against some cars. And then, the shouting is horrendous. Okay, gonna go back in here. And that's it for that unit of French. Oh wait! Oh no, they're falling from behind, sir!
Our men are running from us.
The line infantry is falling us from behind, so at this point it's a desperate... I need to get my men away from that line. I'm charging this unit of militia, which actually... I guess the AI handled it or something. I wasn't really paying attention to this flank, I was paying attention to the other flank, which was absolutely failing. But actually, I can zoom in here. Wait, where's the... can't see where my units are. Oh, God. Here, wait. Over here. So, let's put on slow motion.
All hope is lost, sir. This battle is almost done.
Yes, whatever. So, I have the foot guard keeping in contact with my with the other guards. Oh boy, and then the Prussian general coming in to watch his men, not help. Oh, okay. It's giving them the morale boost, and then my men will get morale decrease, I suppose. I don't know. So now I formed up over here, charging with these guys, firing upon them with these, and then holding these men off with this line over here. And the AI kind of did this. I didn't even do this. I mean, it's sort of smart, but it's questionable in my opinion. And then these guys, I don't know why, but they just stopped. They're forming up or something over here. Oh yeah, because they're routing. Oh yeah, these guys are gonna route too because the friendly fire from it's just, and then since they're firing into their own men, they're like, oh, why are we doing this? Why are we fighting? And then that the flank collapses. The Coldstream Guard, don't run, boys, don't worry. Oh, and then as soon as I hit the play, they run. So it's just down to his general right now. So we're going to pause it. Just gonna look at the carnage over here. So, actually, we're gonna scoom over to the What am I even saying? Zoom over to where the Ottoman flank used to be, and look how far the last stand was about here. Look how far they got pushed back. I mean, this is just like half the map right here. So, originally their position with the Austrians was here, and then my line was back over here. And you guys be like, oh my God, you're that guy who always holds back. I told them I was doing this. I told them, there's a hill in my way, I'm gonna let that hill stay there. And they were okay with that. The Austria said, okay, like, I'll get the left flank, which he did with that unit of Cav line, but, so, the, Ottomans are here, they fell back, you can see the dead, the wounded, and what have you. And then the Prussians and the Ottomans combined in the fight. And then, let's see here, where's the Austrians? Where was the oh, yes, here it was, wait, yeah. It's kind of hard because you can't see where so that's the Prussian dead. Let me just map this out here. Prussian dead, Here we go. So, oh my, just look at how clumped up his force. This is what happens when you clump up your forces like a complete idiot. Okay? Look at the epic slaughter that just happened. Okay? You know, like, okay. So, and then finally, look at the slaughter on my side. Although I wasn't really I didn't take any casualties besides from that cav charge over there on my Coldstream, and then everyone else was formed square. And then the Lightfoot, they got slaughtered. The Coldstream, they had to take casualties. And then, so you know, men died over here. But what really happened between me and the French, you can see too, just by the bodies. It's like a story written in blood, you know. By the bodies, you know, all the French over here, all the English over here. This was the most, you know, besides from I think over there, the most concentrated pile of death. And then for the French, it was over here. Just, I mean, you can even see the waves. You know, over here you have some Volskiers along with the Polish Legion, which I charged my cav with. I mean, charged them with my cav. Old Guard over here, another line of Fusiliers, I believe they're called. We have the second form line. Yeah, the secondary line of, like, they were one unit, but they formed up a couple of times of Old Guard. Let's see here. We have some of the Scots Greys dead on the ground. Some of the Foot Guards I charged in, and King German Legion, I believe, too. Horse over here, more Frenchmen, a lot of Frenchmen dead over here. My routing men over here. So, without further ado, we're going to end the battle. Actually, so yes, and his general will go out in a blaze of glory. Actually, I don't. What's going to happen? We'll just see, you know, just for fun. Oh, the lag. So, he formed square. That bastard. I mean, he wasn't run rank, to be fair, but really, man, it's the last unit. You can take a few casualties, but you know, the last hurrah, the Prussian general, and then you can see the balance of power is, you know, the way it should be. I think they're routing now, yes. And then he died. And then they run. So that's it. And now we'll look at these stats. Like, so I told you I'd mention this again before. I deployed about 200 men less than everyone else because I had the most elite forces, which I'm proud of. Okay, it's my army comp, my decision, and I held them off with them. I was very proud that I was outnumbered by like 300 men actually, and I still had the line. Oh, my cats are making fuss in the background. Okay, be quiet. So, you know, the French did okay and what's not. The Austrian dude, I mean, just look, he accomplished nothing. I'm just mad at this guy. Okay, that's simply it. But so over on so you can see, oh jeez, I'm trying to do two things at once over here. So we can see the kills. The Foot Guard that held on the left flank. I'm gonna scroll over the dead bodies at the moment. So dead bodies on the left. You can't really see, not the routing people. These dead bodies over here. The Foot Guard that killed freaking everyone, and then the King German Legion of Foot was to the right of them, over here about. So yeah, the Coldstream Guards, underwhelming performance, and then another King German Legion of Foot, which I believe was over here, which, you know, either charged in. I can't really remember every unit, but yeah. So that was this. That was today's Napoleon Total War Let's Play episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I thought it was an amazing battle. Afterwards, I was down. I'm like, I need to save this recording immediately. You know, this is going up on YouTube right now. You know, even though I had to take 4 days because I was doing things for those 4 days. But you can see just the carnage on this battlefield, and the losses were horrendous, especially on the freaking Austrians. Okay, I'm not gonna keep raging over that, but yeah. This was a pretty great battle overall, to be honest, and I was really happy with it. So, I give it to you guys now. I guess I'll see you all in the next episode, and really quick, you shall be expecting a improvement in sound quality. I know it's really, really bad, but expect that in the near future. I'm getting a new mic and setup and all that stuff, so I'll see you guys later in the next episode. Peace.